Today we're going to continue to talk about your wish is your command. This is a CD set that was produced many years ago, and you were able to find it quite easily online, but right now it's becoming more increasingly difficult. I'm going to share with you guys how you can get this program completely for free. What you're going to do, you're going to go to any one of my videos and you want to click on the first link in the descriptions. When you click on that link, it's going to take you to a sales page. Now, you don't have to read through this whole sales page if you don't want to. You can just click Buy Now. When you tap on Buy Now, you'll take into an order page. And from here, you want to scroll down a little bit and type in the coupon code, which is YWIYC. You want to hit Apply. Once you hit Apply, you can see the discount code has been applied. You want to come back on top, fill out the contact, billing, and payment information, and tap Complete My Order. When you tap Complete My Order, you should expect an email in your inbox. If you don't see the email in your inbox, you want to go to your spam folder. If you find it in your spam folder, re-drag it back into your inbox. There's going to be a link in that email. Tap on that email, and it'll take you directly to the CD set. 14 audio series, Your Wish is Your Command, How to Manifest Your Desires. Coming back to my little PowerPoint slide, today I want to share with you what I've learned in the CD set. Now, this is just the broad strokes. I'm not going to be able to provide all the small, intricate details. Me, personally, I've been on this personal development journey for quite some time. Since my early 20s, I read through a lot of different books. I went to different conferences, but I wasn't able to piece the puzzle together. And this is what Kevin Trudeau does so well. He's able to piece together the laws of manifestation in a very practical way. It's not about just collecting more crystals. You're doing more tarot. You are doing for vision boards. Those are all very, very helpful. But how do you combine all these pieces together so now the law of manifestation is working on your behalf? Now, my name is Sean. I listened to this program a couple years ago, and I still listen to it every single year. It was introduced to me by my brother, and I was like, man, this guy's making a lot of sense. And I started to take all his recommendations into my personal life. So I listened to it a couple of years, but not only listened to it, I've been applying it in my daily life. And I'll share with you how I got that done. Now, over here, there are 4 specific lessons in the CD set. The first one is, who do you listen to? The second lesson is the teachability index. Third lesson is the training balance scale. And finally, the 4th lesson is 4 steps to learning or mastery. How do you command mastery over something, over a topic or specific skill set? So 4 lessons. Who do you listen to? Teachability index, training balance scale, and 4 steps. Through this presentation, I'll be drinking some coffee and some water. Hope you guys don't mind. Before we jump right into the very first lesson. The very first lesson is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? You can subscribe to many people on YouTube. You can subscribe to different email lists. But who do you listen to? According to Kevin, you must listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. You can't listen to everybody. If you listen to everybody, you'll listen to nobody. Specifically, listen to people who have been where you are. That means they understand what you're currently going through right now. They're experiencing some type of struggle that you're experiencing. But right now, they're on the other side of things, and they're at a place where you want to be. Now, for most of my life, I listened to all the wrong people. I'm not perfect. I'm still working through myself. When I was younger, all I knew was if I wanted to achieve a 6-pack abs, I had to go to the gym, put in those reps, put in those sets, and calorie count. That's all I knew. That was on my radar screen. And at the time, I was living in San Diego, California, Southern California, downtown. And there was a Horn Plaza. Inside that Horn Plaza, there was a 24-hour fitness. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym, perhaps get myself a personal trainer. That's all I knew in the back of my mind. If I wanted to manifest a six-pack, I knew I couldn't just collect some crystals and get it. So I go to the gym, and oddly enough, I don't know what it was about that particular 24-hour fitness. When I went in, these personal trainers will come pull up. And they will tell you, hey, listen, I can become your personal trainer. The problem was, these personal trainers, they were not even in shape themselves. You guys understand what I'm talking about? People out there that are trying to coach you, yes, they do have the certificates. And yes, they probably went to school for something like this. But they haven't demonstrated the results that you're looking for. So how are these people going to take you to your destination where they haven't demonstrated themselves? So listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. And this is where rubber meets the road. Because most of the stuff that you listen online, where it comes to laws of manifestation, it's all about, oh, you just got to feel good. You're going to have to journal more, okay? Put yourself in that state. But if you really want to get the results that you want, are you listening to the right people? Just to share a little bit of myself. See, before I tried to lose weight, I was weight loss rebound all the time. I lose a couple of pounds and I gain it all back. Now I look like this pretty much all year around. Six-pack abs. What changed? Well, I had to learn things outside of my current scope of awareness. I had to do different things. And I'm going to discuss a little bit more about that. I had to listen to different people. Now, the first lesson is, who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. I had different digestive problems that had to be resolved. And those digestive problems that were preventing me from achieving my six-pack abs. I'm going to go into depth today and teach you guys how you guys can really filter out the voices. Maybe a lot of you need to go through email lists right now, or you're just getting a whole bunch of emails from different subscriptions, and you're like, you know what? These people are not really helping me. They haven't really demonstrated the results. They're very good at sending me emails all day, every single day, telling me to buy this, that, and the third. Well, who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Another example that I have regarding who do you listen to? A couple of months ago, I was there at the hospital. I took somebody there to the hospital. And for most of my life, people always say that hey, you got to listen to your doc, right? Just listen to the talk, take the meds, don't question it. Well, I was there at the hospital in the ER taking somebody there. And these doctors, they've been pulling up. And then they're going to tell you, hey, we're going to do your vital signs, measure your blood pressure. We're going to do some blood tests, blood sugar. What else are you going to do? ECG, electrocardiogram. Maybe they do some type of an x-ray, got any broken bones, etc., etc., etc. And they're going to come back and say, okay, after you come back, we're going to evaluate your lab reports. They're going to say, oh, what do we have here? These values are out of range, within range, out of range, within range. And they're going to upsell you to the next set of procedures or operations or make you stay over the hospital, whatever they're trying to do. Listen, a lot of these doctors, they were not even in shape themselves. Okay? They're always critiquing your lab reports. A lot of y'all need to tell your doctor, listen, you need to get up on that scale. We're going to measure your weight. We're going to measure your height. And from these two numbers, we're going to get your BMI, your body mass index. If your body mass index is over 30, I got to listen to somebody else. This is where you guys got to have the presence of mind. Now, everything that I'm sharing, this is not professional medical advice, neither is it treatment. Always seek the advice from physician or qualified professionals with any medical condition that you may have. Now we got that out of the way. Who you're listening to, they're critiquing your lab results. You tell them, you know what, we should be measuring your blood pressure. You know, is your blood pressure within range? How's your blood sugar, doc? Are you continuing struggling with a whole bunch of chronic diseases? Listen, we're listening to a whole bunch of medical professionals. They're struggling with a whole bunch of chronic diseases. They can't even fix themselves. That is the state of modern medicine right now. It is very, very messy. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Maybe some of y'all to pick up some books regarding naturopathic doctors. Some of y'all pick up some books on holistic medicine, right? Herbal remedies. And look at the results those guys are experiencing. Are they experiencing a whole bunch of ups and downs throughout the year? Right? A lot of people experiencing a lot of roller coasters within their personal health. People that are living, doing natural herbs, living holistic lifestyle, they're concerned about, how much quality sleep they're getting, what kind of nutrition they're getting, what they can do to mitigate, reduce their EMF exposure. How can they get grounded indoors and outdoors? What is their stress level? Right? How's their relationship with their work, relationship with their loved ones? All these different factors contribute to your overall health. With your health, it is really tricky because you're either gradually progressing your way back up or you're just spiraling down. Years ago, me personally, I was spiraling down. I had a whole bunch of problems. I had nasal congestion, joint problems, taking different medications. And what happened was, well, one medication led to another side effect. When you go back to the pharmacist and say, oh, we foresaw this. It's almost like they're prophetic with it. Well, we got another medication for you to help counter that side effect you're currently experiencing. How do I get out of the system? Who do I listen to? I started finding people on YouTube who have demonstrated success. They were in a very, very low point in their life. They had a whole bunch of problems. They also went through a whole bunch of doctors. Some of these people, they even gone to see psychotherapists, went to see psychologists, because some of these doctors, they say, hey, listen, we already tried everything on the list and nothing is working. Maybe it's all in your head. That's why they were recommended to go see a specialist or a psychotherapist, rapist. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Sometimes you just got to sit down with yourself and you just tune into your inner voice. People I'm listening to right now, can they really help me get the results that I want? So that's the very first lesson. Before you jump on to the next lesson, how do you get this program for free? All you need to do is tap on this link in my descriptions, tap on it once. It's going to take you to the sales page. And what is this program all about? Now, if you watch The Secret, if you watch that documentary, The Secret, where you read any of these books, Think and Grow Rich, Asking and is Given, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you're following any of these authors, what type of authors that I'm talking about? We're talking about Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Joe Vitale, Tony Robbins, Earl Nightingale, Joe Dispenza, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Charlie Tremendous Jones, Cadet Robert, Ed Foreman, Joe Bauer, Grant Cardone, Dennis Waitley, Marshall Silver, Neville Goddard. If you're interested in any of these speakers or authors, this is definitely up your alley. You can get this program completely for free. All you gotta do is tap buy now. After you tap buy now, you want to scroll down just a little bit and you want to type in the coupon code, which is YWIYC. You can use all caps or lowercase or combination, whatever you like, and you hit apply. Once you hit apply, you can see the discount code is going to apply, and you're going to save $500. Come back to the top, fill out your contact, billing, and payment information, and tap complete my order. It's not going to charge you anything. They just want to find people who are actually serious about this program. From there, all you got to do is go back into your email. If you don't see it in your email in 5 to 10 minutes, check your spam folder. It may be in your spam folder. Drag it back into your inbox. Going to go into that email. There's going to be a link inside that email. Tap it once, and you're going to be taken to this 14 audio series. Your wish is your command. how to manifest your desires. Okay. Now, I'm very grateful for this program because I've upgraded my own personal health, and I didn't stop there because I kept refocusing on this first lesson. Who do I listen to? Who do I listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. So I started to learn different ways how I can clean my digestive system. There's so much trash trapped inside your digestive system you can't even imagine. Next, once I started doing this, things started to appear on my radar screen for the next step. The next step was about eliminating internal parasites out of the body. Many people don't know there's so many internal parasites. They're plagued with a whole bunch of critters inside of them. This could be tapeworms, ringworms, whipworms, liver flukes, and they're not just sitting there in your digestive system, they're targeting specific organs in your body. So this could be very challenging for you right now because it's currently off your radar screen. So I'd invite you guys, go to your local library, maybe you talk to a parasitologist. There are free books on archive.org or Library of Congress on this specific topic. Not just for human parasitology, but also veterinary parasitology, because your pets, they're huge vectors for parasites. Specific parasites could transmit from pets to humans. Why am I sharing all this? Because I started to listen to the right people that could help me get my health back on track. So I'm not going through this roller coaster stuff. A lot of people, they lose some weight, gain it all back. Lose some weight, gain it all back. I'm tired of that struggle. I'm no longer in that loop. So next, we got to talk about very important lesson is the teachability index. Teachability index. Now, if you have any questions for me, just put it in the comments below. Okay. I'm going to take a short break, catch my breath a little bit. Hope all of y'all doing well, you know, wherever you are in the world. If you're watching this now or you're watching it later, I hope it can benefit on your journey. All right, the next lesson we're going to talk about is the teachability index. The teachability index. What is the teachability index? Well, it has two components as well. The first part is, what is your willingness to learn? Okay, and the second part is, what is your willingness to accept change? Teachability index. How teachable are you? How coachable are you? Can you quantify something like this? According to Kevin Trudeau, you definitely can quantify something like this. I'm going to show you how. Because many people, they said, yeah, I'm very teachable, I'm very coachable. How do you quantify something like that? Very, very cogently, very, very coherently. Teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? How do you know if you are willing to learn something? This is how you do it. You're setting aside your favorite activities, setting that favorite activity aside, and you're actually using that time to better your life. Maybe you're listening to an audio course, you're reading books, or you're attending conferences either in person or online. What is your favorite activity now? Most people, they come back home from work, and all they do is, I'm going to turn on Netflix, watch my favorite TV shows, Hulu, Amazon Prime videos, and that's how they spend their time. It could be golf, it could be drinking out with the boys, watching sports, playing video games. These are not bad things. I'm just saying, if you want to achieve things in your life, you have to set those things aside and demonstrate some willingness to learn, which is audios, reading books, attending conferences, or taking courses online or in person. You have to score yourself, taking aside your favorite activities and you're replacing it with different skill sets. You're learning a new skill. Maybe you're learning about how to write software. Maybe you're learning about new AI tools that are out there. Maybe you're working on your public speaking skills. Maybe you're working on putting your first online course together. Whatever it is, you're demonstrating some willingness to learn. You're learning something. So there are 30 days in a month. So how many days out of those 30 are you setting aside your favorite activity? And from there, you are doing something productive that's going to better your life, developing a new skill for your life. That's how you can give yourself a score from 0 to 10. Next, you have to be very real with yourself and ask yourself, what is my willingness to accept change? What is my willingness to accept change? That means now that I bought the courses, maybe you bought some exercise program. I don't care if it's P90X, but maybe Taibo, it could be QVC, exercise instruction manuals, it could be Peloton. But now you're actually willing to do the exercises. You can't just be watching Tony Horton on the DVD set and eating potato chips on the couch. And that's the disconnect a lot of people have, because it gives them a sense of comfort when they buy some courses online. It says, at least I did something today for my health. I decided to buy this book, an ebook on healthy eating. Okay, so you buy that course. Okay, you get DVDs on Tony Horton. You got the P90X, Taibo, I don't care what it is. But for most people, their exercise courses, their books, they're sitting on a shelf collecting dust. And that's the problem, because people will tell you, all you got to do is do manifestation, do another vision board, okay, do more affirmations. You're just doing all these things and your life ain't changing because you're not willing to actually do the exercises. Maybe you can't do the exercises like Tony Horton. Maybe the first thing you got to do is go out for a walk, 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time. For some of y'all, you can't even go for a walk because where your situation is at, you got to be inside of a pool. That will reduce that impact on your joints. So what is your willingness to learn from a scale of 0 to 10? And what is your willingness to accept change? Also give yourself a score on 0 to 10. You got to multiply those numbers together to get yourself that teachability index or the coachability index. Many people, they're conference warriors. Their willingness to learn is 10 out of 10. They will be at every conference. I don't care if it's Dr. Joe Dispenza, could be going to Tony Horton, Tony Robbins, and they got all the books. But their life ain't changing because their willingness to accept change is still 0. So 10 multiplied by 0 is still 0. Life is not changing, y'all. So that's the second lesson in Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command. Once again, how do you get this program completely for free? Very simple. All you got to do, you got to just tap on this first link in the descriptions. Once you tap on this link, it's going to take you to a sales page. I'm going to give you guys the coupon code, okay? So what you got to do, you got to just click on Buy Now anywhere on the page. You want to scroll down a little bit, and you want to type in the coupon code, all right? It is YWIYC. You want to hit apply. Once you hit apply, you want to go back on top. You can see that once it's applied, you get a discount for $500, y'all. So right here, if you're live, listen to this, you're saving $500. So over here, once it's applied, come back on top, fill in your contact, bill and payment information. It's not going to charge you anything. They just want to find people who are actually serious about this program. So when you get this program, this is your wish is your command, how to manifest your desires. Audio set, you can put it in your MP3 player, you can stream it, you can listen it to your car, and do it when you're on the go, right? I listen to this so many times. The reason why I can share this is because I've listened to this program so many times and I've applied it. I had to install this as part of my subconscious because every step of the way, people are always trying to get into your ear. Okay? And the first thing I start to filter out, hey, am I listening to the right people? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Most people, they're not where I want to be, right? But they're very good at convincing you to do certain things or take certain actions, certain activities. And I had to start to make some choices. Who am I spending my time with? If I'm spending my time around 4 other people that drink alcohol, I'm going to be the 5th. If I spend my time around 4 other people. They're always smoking. I'm going to be the fifth. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Be more selective. Be okay to be more selective. Recognizing that, hey, not everybody out there has your best interests at heart. Now, how do I know about Kevin Trudeau? I actually started to read his book years ago. It was called Natural Cures. They don't want you to know about, okay? This book, I picked it up, and because I've been on this natural health situation for quite a long time, because I had so many health issues, and I had to recover my own personal health. And this book was very instrumental because I started reading it. I was like, man, I definitely agree with the principles outlined in this book. Now, I may not use every single modality that he uses, but principally, I agree with him. What does he talk about? He talks about detoxification, right? Getting the waste material out of your small and large intestines. Kevin always talks a lot about colonics, colon hydrotherapy. He also deals with heavy metal detox. He also talks about parasite cleanse, right? And I even shared this book with my mother years ago. And this is way before we even knew he had this other personal development side to his things. So you guys want to pay attention to this and listen to these lessons. First one, who do you listen to? Are you listening to the right people? Next, what is your teachability index? Are you willing to learn something that's currently a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but it may help you down the line, right? I was reading so many different books on natural health, and some of those protocols, they were outside of my comfort zone. But at some point, I had to increase my willingness to accept change, which was, hey, that book can no longer be some type of a thing on my bookshelf or just sitting there in my downloads folder. I actually have to do the protocol, because that's how I'm going to unlock the next era of my health. We spoke about detoxification. We spoke about cleaning out the small and large intestines, eliminating internal parasites. I didn't even stop there. I learned about how you can flush out gallstones out of the gallbladder and also intrahepatic stones out of the liver. I didn't even stop there. I also learned about different herbal remedies or detox teas that you can drink to help you dissolve kidney stones out of your kidneys. We have the same set of internal organs, and we need to learn how to take better care of ourselves from the inside. You guys understand? And that's the journey that I've been on, and I still continue to go on. And I never miss a week. I never miss a week, guys. There are only 52 weeks in a year. There are only 52. Every single week, I'm doing some type of detox protocol to better my life. That's why when I say this, what is my willingness to learn? You know, I'm doing my best to keep it 10 out of 10. And what is my willingness to accept change? When it comes to my own personal health, you know, I'm doing 10 out of 10. Very, very bluntly, you know, because even if I'm on vacation, I will take the detox kit with me and do my detox protocols. I don't care. I will get it done. It's that serious. And as a result, I'm living very gratefully a very vibrant, healthy, vibrant life. The detours I used to be on or setbacks that I used to have in my own personal health, I no longer experience. Very humbly, I always knock on wood. I always want to keep it very humble. And I tell myself, listen, there's always another level that I can unlock. If I improve upon my willingness to learn and improve upon my willingness to accept change, I'm going to continue to staircase my way back up into the light. That's what I'm going after. That's what I'm going after, not just for myself, but I have to demonstrate the results so my family members can actually believe the things that I say. If my health is not in check, if my health is not good, I'm always having problems. I'm always going to see doctors, right? Having this problem and a third. How am I going to tell my own family members and say, hey, you need to do this protocol, this protocol? They're not going to listen to me. They only listen to me because I first demonstrated results for myself. Willingness to learn, willingness to accept change, taking action consistently. Not just, oh, I have a spark of inspiration and I do it for 1 to 2 days. You gotta be doing this week in, week out. Week in, week out. That's how you're gonna manifest some real results in your life. So if we're going to talk about the next lesson, take a short little break. How's everyone doing? And you can chat with me in the message box here. For example, hello, hello. Type your questions here. Okay, be happy to hear from you. What do we talk about today? Today we went through 2 major lessons so far. First one is, who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. The second lesson is the teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? And what is your willingness to accept change? Both of these lessons are incredibly important. They really helped me when I listened to the CD set or the audio series again and again and again. Because when you are making decisions, when you're being presented with opportunities, you can use these as filters. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. I gave you guys some examples, very, very uncomfortable examples earlier. You guys can see that's right for you. Teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? Give yourself a score from 0 to 10. Hey, if you have any questions for me, the live chat is right there. You can type in your questions. I may not get to it right away, but I will get to it as soon as I can. So the third lesson in Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command is called the Training Balance Scale. I had to listen to this so many times, and I'm only tapping to the surface of this lesson. Even now, even after years of listening to this Training Balance Scale lesson. So think of a scale that tilts back and forth. On one side of the scale, it's about how you think and how you feel. Your whys. What are your dreams, your goals, attitudes, your mental processes, your vibration, internal motivation. Okay, so on one side of the scale, it's all about how you think and how you feel, your internal motivation, your attitude, your dreams and goals. On the other side of the scale are the how actions, the specific techniques, the different strategies that you come across, the action steps, plans, activities, and physical actions. And how do you weigh this scale? Which one is more important? Now, in the world of personal development, they always tell you the reason why you're not achieving your goals is because you don't know the how actions. You don't know the specific techniques. You got to buy that extra book. You got to get yourself another CD set. Find another strategy that's going to be right for you. Get another action. Right now, there's so much information out there. You can get a whole bunch of action steps just using ChatGPT alone. Or you go to YouTube, you type in questions, all these videos are going to come up. And every last one of those guys are going to give you the how actions, the specific techniques, the strategies. According to Kevin Trudeau, he places so much more emphasis on how you think and how you feel. Napoleon Hill, he wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich. He didn't say, know all the action steps and grow rich, or toil hard and grow rich. He wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich. Now, I could be wrong. I was explaining this yesterday. I think this has a lot to do with the subconscious mind, okay? So most people in the world of personal development, they're focused on the conscious thinking, the short-term memory, the logical thinking, willpower, decisions, and analysis. That commands only 5% of your overall power. What is really driving your actions? It's your unconscious mind, it's your subconscious mind. The deeper things that is currently underneath the surface where you don't see, your habits and beliefs, your values or your identities, your intuition, creativity, your self-worth and imagination. These things, they drive your subconscious mind. I'm going to give you guys an example, okay? So when I was a teenager, I had a six-pack abs. So in the subconscious mind, I always saw myself somebody that had six-pack abs. I went to play basketball all the time, and then I skateboarded all the time. So it was very easy for me to get a six-pack abs in my teenage years. But as I got older, in my 20s, and as you guys know, when you get into your 20s, late 20s, and your 30s, it gets increasingly more difficult to get your six-pack abs. So I was very frustrated when I look at the mirror every single day because I did not see my own self-image. It reflected back to me as somebody that was just slothful. When I knew I wasn't like that, I was putting in the work. I was going to the gym. I was calorie counting, my fitness pal, all that stuff. None of that stuff worked. But today I want to talk about what was the content of my subconscious mind. My subconscious mind had a six-pack abs. So I had to do everything in my power to return back to that image. Most people, they don't have a six-pack abs. What's in there cranking in the back of their mind? Let me tell you guys, they have this guy. All right? They have Homer Simpson. Who else do they have? They have Hank Hill. All right? This is the American. I would say most people in the West, if they just go home, they think that, hey, Hank is very relatable. All I think about is going back home, drink some beer, you know, just like Hank Hill. I'm just like Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson drinking beer once again, right? That is the image that they have. Who else do they have? Al Bundy, Married with Children. Now, when you go back home and you watch this day in and day out, day in and day out, you're like, Al was very, very relatable. Homer Simpson, very, very relatable. Your self-image, you don't have somebody that is proactive. You just have somebody in there sitting inside of you that has a dad bod. You guys understand? So a lot of people, they put in a lot of effort. They're like, I want to achieve a six-pack ab. But the problem is that their self-image inside, it is still Homer Simpson, it is Hank Hill, it is Al Bundy with the dad bod. So it doesn't matter if they slave themselves, go to the gym, you know, 6-7 months out of the year, and they say to themselves, listen, I just want to look good for Instagram in the summertime. So they will get that six-pack abs in their 20s, right? And this get those photos taken for the summertime. But what happens when summer is over? Once fall kicks in, they're gonna revert back. They're gonna eat a little bit extra. What else do we have in October? We have Halloween, right? Eat a little bit more extra during Thanksgiving. What else do we have? Oh, now we're gonna be at the Christmas parties, one after the next. You see, the self-image is a fat person. So it doesn't matter how much they work and effort changing their behaviors, your nutrition and diet, it will always revert back to that self-image. So what's inside of you right now? Have you guys thought about that? How do you really think and how do you really feel? Not just at a conscious fleeting moment, but the deeper person within. What is really cranking in the back of the mind when you're driving, just sitting alone in the car by yourself? Are you thinking about positive things? Or are you just like thinking about arguments? Or are you thinking about headlines that are taking place? Disappointments, okay? And for a lot of people, the only thing that makes them happy is going back home, watching their TV shows, picking up their beer, right? Having a time of relaxation. And that's the problem in the world of personal development, because it's very, very difficult to change that inner person, right? You really need to first learn how to develop that inner person within you. Later, I'm going to show you guys this program that's really helped me. I'm going to discuss it now. I'm going to focus on y'all. Get this free program. But you can't just treat it like a free program, because a lot of people don't really, they don't value free. That's the problem, right? So Kevin Trudeau, he's very, very generous right now. I don't know how long he's going to keep this program up there for you guys to download for free. So take advantage of it, but just don't have it sit there in your inbox. Don't have it sit there in your downloads folder, because it's not going to empower you for change. Training balance skill goes much deeper than conscious. Oh, I feel good today. I think good today. You got to see the deeper picture. How does my subconscious mind think? How does my subconscious mind feel? What is my self-image right now? What are my true values? What do I really believe in? Are there some things I need to reshuffle around? What is my self-worth right now? What is my self-confidence right now? Not just in a moment where you really need it, but this undercurrent about you. This stuff you can change. Your subconscious mind is very malleable, and you can install new things in your subconscious mind. And I'm going to get into the next lesson, in which we'll talk about the 4 steps to learning. The 4 steps to learning. This is the next lesson in Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command. 4 steps to learning. And we all go through this, guys. I'm going to share with you how this works. And I'm still learning. I haven't mastered any of these lessons. I continue to master. Always come back to these basics. First part is unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. What I mean by that is, when you first try to ride a bike, you have no idea what you're doing. Maybe you got some parents, loved ones around you, and they said that, okay, you really want to ride the bike like your neighborhood friends. Well, maybe you can't ride a bike right away. We got to get you a tricycle, get you some training wheels on. This is where you got to put your hands on the handles, and you got to pedal, right? Like this, in this manner, and you get some forward momentum going. Maybe you got some people shoving you in the back to get that forward momentum going. You don't know what you do. What you know, you don't know what you don't know when you first get on that bike. But over time, you get back on it daily. You start to develop conscious incompetence. You know that you don't know something. You're riding this tricycle, but you're watching your neighborhood kids. They're popping wheelies, okay? They're riding the bicycle without their hand on their handles. You're like, what is going on? I'm just trying to struggle on here, but there is something off my radar screen right now, beyond my current scope of awareness. And I'm excited that I'm on this path. I'm going to continue to fire and wire this urology of riding this bike, getting better and better at it. And over time, you become conscious competent at riding a bicycle. You know that you know something, and your parents are like, hey, we can actually take off the training wheels, get yourself on a real bike. Now you're going to learn how to balance on this bike now, right? Before, you had the training wheels, but you're like, I got to balance this on my own. I got to put my pedal in a certain way. Maybe you got to lean my bike against the wall to begin doing this. But hey, at least you know, after weeks and weeks of practice, you're going to ride the bicycle along with your neighborhood kids. And you're going to get so good. And you're like, man, I know how to do this. And some of you may be popping wheelies. Some of you may be riding the bicycle without your hand on the handles. You've installed how to ride a bicycle. And over time, you become unconscious competent at riding a bicycle. You know success is automatic. What I mean by that is, maybe after high school, after college, you don't really have the opportunity to ride a bicycle. And for years, all you do is drive to work, to and from going back home, watch King of the Hill, watch Simpsons, watching Married with Children. No, don't do that. But I'm just saying is, but your family members like, hey, we're going to go to an exotic place. We're going to, go on a family vacation. And while you're there, it's like somebody said has this flash of inspiration. Hey, why don't we get a bike rental and we're going to go try this trail that this tour guide told me about that we should go on. In that moment, you're not going to freak out and be like, oh my goodness, I haven't ridden on a bike for such a long time. I don't know if I can handle this. Why wouldn't you not be afraid of that? Because you've installed the neurology in the subconscious mind how to ride that bicycle. You no longer have that fear. It doesn't matter if you're riding a bicycle in South Africa, in Madagascar, in Thailand, in Argentina, in Venezuela, in Ukraine, in Belarus, in Romania. It's the same. I don't care what type of bike, what type of model it is. You know how to ride that bike. 4 steps to learning. We all go through these stages, and we always want to come back because it's always something that new that you can learn, even with riding a bike. You can say this about driving a vehicle, right? I started driving a stick shift, very uncomfortable, right? But over time, I got better and better at it before you have to work. Because I didn't start on a stick shift, I started on an automatic. And I started trying that stick shift in Seattle, Washington. Let me tell you, Seattle, Washington, you got these hills that come out like this, right? And you had a red light. Your car is like this. You got the emergency brake on in that situation because you don't want your car to roll back and hit the car behind you. So you got the red light, you get the emergency brake on, and when that light turns green, you're gonna have to work with the clutch, right? You can see that, all right, now the car's got a little bit of forward momentum. Then I can release the emergency brake and I can go over this hill safely. And that went through its different stages. First, from a place of unconscious incompetence. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Right? It was very frustrating to get the clutch, work with the clutch. Very, very frustrating. But over time, all right, I kind of know what I'm doing, conscious incompetence, but there's so much I don't know about doing this. But over time, become conscious competent. I know that I know something, right? I still make mistakes sometimes working with this clutch. But later on, hey, I become unconscious competent. I know, and that success is automatic. And that's what this program's trying to do. What Kevin's trying to do is he's trying to teach you what the elites teach their children at a very young age. They're not just there to learn and just regurgitate information. They're there to install something very powerful inside their subconscious mind. So when they're being presented with different situations, people, circumstances, the elites, their children, is like, who do I listen to right now? I need to listen to people who have been where I am and where I want to be. So they're in a process of elimination. A lot of people don't even make it through their Eisenhower matrix. You guys understand? Because they're in the process of eliminating this person can help me, this person cannot help me. They're very clear. They want a direct path to success. Next, what is their teachability index? They're very real with themselves. What is my willingness to learn right now? Give myself a score. I'm setting aside my favorite activities. I'm no longer watching Homer Simpson's, not watching King of the Hills or Marry with Children. I'm going to set that time aside. I'm actually going to pick up some audio courses, pick up some online courses, reading some books to better my life and give myself a score. How many days out of 30 in a month I'm actually doing those things? Because if you're just doing 1 day out of 30, it's nothing. That's not going to change your life. Next, what is my willingness to accept change? Now that I learned these things, am I willing to apply it to better my life? Okay? Am I willing to apply it? I can't just have Tony Horn on the DVD set, watch him do the exercises, and he's just there popping potato chips. Training balance skill. How do I really think? What is my self-image on the inside? How do I think and how do I really feel? What is my why? What are my dreams? What are my goals? What's my attitude behind them? The mental processes, the vibration, internal motivation. The specific techniques that will come. The way how I see it is, we all have a very unique path, right? And this unique path is very unique for every last one of us. And if you have the right way of thinking, the right motivation, the right vibration at the core, not just a fleeting thought, not just a 5-minute, oh, I can think good for 5 minutes, but I retrain myself to think in a positive way. Every single day, I'm retraining myself to renew my subconscious mind. So that person inside of you is growing more vibrantly, seeing himself in a more positive light. That person is going to drive you and send you on a path of, okay, I want you to read this book. After you read that book, apply it. All right, next, you're ready for the next set of books. Okay, read it. Not just reading it, but also applying it, taking action. Right? And before you know it, you're going to have a good day. And that good day is going to turn into 2 good days, 3 days, 4 days. Before you know it, you have a whole week solid down. And you do it the next week. You do it the next week. The next solid month is down. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Always progressively improving yourself in the direction that you want. So I'll take a little bit of a break. You guys have any questions for me? I know somebody's watching this right now. Thanks for joining me on this call, and be happy to help you answer any questions you may have. And I may not know, I don't know everything. I'll be upfront. That's why y'all guys get the CD set. Okay. It's just providing the broad strokes. Providing the broad strokes. All right. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things that you guys can get. I'm going to leave them as links, as comments, so you guys can get them. The first one is my course. I know it's a little bit expensive. I don't care. All right. Because I used to give this program out for free. Nobody do anything with it. So finally, if you pay for something, you actually take action with it. This is a program that helped me lose weight, helped me eliminate the waste material sitting inside my body. I used to be weight loss rebounding all the time. So when your elimination is incomplete, you got a whole bunch of residue sitting in your body, and they're building up in layers in the walls of your colon. As they putrefy means decaying and rot. They can cause health problems, pain, and discomfort. If you're having digestive problems, listen, y'all, this is a program you must evaluate for yourself. And that's the first program. What else do I have for you? I want you guys to look into this other program. If you're into ChatGPT, you want to learn. And I don't know how long Brad's going to be doing this offer. He's only charging you $10 for this. Listen, this program is worth a lot more, $10. How I turn my ideal future self into a personalized AI coach in just 60 minutes using 3 simple prompts. If you want to get immediate clarity on your next steps, daily accountability that fits your style, and guidance that actually sticks, using the only mentor who truly gets you, you. Do you know you can build a future version of yourself? What does that future version look like? How would this future version communicate with you? I've been using this for weeks and weeks now. It's definitely helping me, all right? And I will also leave this link in the chat. You guys can check this out, okay? Go check it out, all right? So, listen, who is this for? Entrepreneurs, leaders who feel thin, they feel spread thin and pull in too many directions. Creators who struggle with consistency, resistance, or focus. All right. So how does this work? You want to extract your future self's identity, values, and voice using ChatGPT, using a specific set of AI prompts tailored for this. I mean, listen, I had a lot of hesitancy using ChatGPT because I know certain parts of it, it is just very messy, right? It doesn't always tell you the truth. It's going to obfuscate, but you gotta be using tools, and you can use them in a way that can better your life. Right now, I'm using with this coach daily, and this coach is a future version of myself, right? So I've been using ChatGPT, and I've been using the pay version. I paid, I think, $20 for this version, but it's going to help you create projects because you actually need to unlock that portion, right? Who is Brad Costanzo? Brad is a personal mentor of mine for many years, guys. I've known this guy since 2011. I kid you guys not. And he works with amazing people such as Brian Tracy. He works with amazing people such as Jack Canfield. He is very, very well connected, okay? And somebody that can share a lot of, ups and downs with. This kind of like my go-to guy. So today I want to share with you two things. The first thing, I'm going to share with you a couple of things. People always say, oh, you shouldn't have multiple offers. Listen, I'm going to give you guys multiple things you're going to get. So first one, what is the first thing? Get Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish Is Your Command. You guys can listen to this. This is completely free, right? And using the coupon code YWIYC over here. What else can you get? You want to get this Future You AI coach. I got the link in the chat box right now. Click on it. Okay, I'll also put it in the comments below. How you can turn your future self into a personalized AI coach in just 60 minutes. That's the other offer that I have for y'all. And I'm also going to include this. Do you want to take a month-long sabbatical, just reset, so you can focus on what matters and transform your uncertainty into opportunity? I know it sounds like a wild promise, but listen, I'm on this doing this right now. Go look at it. Just go look at it, see if it's right for you. And of course, if you want to lose weight, all right, this is the Mega Poop Transformation Challenge. Lose 3 to 5 pounds per month without going to the gym. You may not believe me. I have not been to the gym for years. Doesn't mean that I don't work out. I work out. I have a set of weights at home, and I know what I'm doing because before I used to have personal trainers. Our personal trainers, one of the benefits is that you're doing the exercises right with the right form so you don't hurt yourself. A lot of people say, I'm going to do this by myself. All right. And there's going to be a season where you're going to have to pay some money, get yourself a coach, okay, so you can do the exercises right, so you don't harm yourself. Today, there are actually 4 offers in this video. What do we have? First, we have Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish Is Your Command. You can find it right here. First link that will take you to the sales page. From the sales page, you're going to click buy now. How are you going to get it for free? You got to have the right coupon code. So listen, it's YWIYC. You hit apply in this section right here. Once you click apply, you can see that the discount goes in apply, saving $500. You're going to come back on top, fill in the contact, billing, and payment information. First offer. Next offer is my offer here, the No BS Guide to Accelerated Weight Loss. Mega Poop Transformation Challenge. If you want to lose 3 to 5 pounds per month without going to the gym, listen, y'all. No refunds, y'all. Okay? Just listen to it. There are training instructional videos inside this thing. So whatever. I'm going to share with you what I have in this program. There are videos and also PDFs, right? So the first video is my story and the introduction to the digestive system. Next, we got the self-love shopping list. Do this exactly. Next, I'm going to teach you how to make the self-love. Do this exactly. Next, I'm going to teach you how to drink the self-love solution. Do this exactly. Listen, you're probably going to find other protocols online and I'm going to tell you it's free. Listen, look down in the comments. A lot of them, they're not successful because they're not mixing the self-love solution in a specific ratio. Next, it's about how you drink it. Timing. Every last one of these details are important. I have taught this course not just in English, I taught this course in Chinese. I've translated this in Arabic. Listen, people all over the world have done this program. So if you guys want to just look at this comment section, there are people that are finding my program online. All right. And you can also translate these photos. These are testimonials in Chinese. Some of them are very, very funny because we all have the same problems. Listen, everybody, you got to use the bathroom. If you're eating 2 to 3 meals per day and you're not going to the bathroom, something is wrong. Something is wrong. You have unresolved fecal matter sitting inside of you. And that stuff is going to just compound, cause all sorts of inflammation. It's going to cause a whole bunch of digestive problems. Here's another testimony from Colton. Colton's from the USA. All right. If this is what you want to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. I'm going to have that link in the descriptions. What else are we sure about? If you want to build a personalized coach using ChatGPT, using 3 simple prompts, man, it is crazy what Brad is giving you for $10. I'm going to leave the link again in the comments. All right. This is crazy because let me tell y'all, if you do this right and you actually pay attention to what he teaches you, you can actually talk to yourself. I kid you not. You can talk to the future version of yourself. Is it going to take work to get all the systems in place? Yes. All right. But you're going to be communicating with the future version of yourself. And the tool that he recommends is 11 Labs, which I also have. So this is an opportunity for you to learn about AI, what it can do for you. But it's more about, hey, if you are looking to build a future version of yourself, you want to reinstall the subconscious mind. Okay? If you're about the dream storming system, big goal realization, the step-by-step method to build a future version of yourself that guides your decisions and goals and daily focus. You don't have to be a tech warrior. You don't have to write code. Brad, he just gives you these prompts. You can just copy and paste. If you know how to copy and paste, y'all, I'm telling you, get this course. Next, I'm going through this program right now. I'm doing this 30-day reset. The 30-day reset is so powerful because Brad is introducing to you his mental frameworks that he uses. He works with top of the top. He really does. He works with people, Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield. Brad's Rolodex is extremely deep. The only reason why I share those is because he put those on his Instagram. So I don't want to share certain people that he doesn't want to share, right? He works with some of the best people in the industry. If they're in personal development, if they're doing any type of branding, they're struggling with their business, if they're trying to do this, that, and then a third, Brad is like the consultant. He is the top of the top. That's what I'm trying to say. And these the top of the top guys, they're so low key. They don't say nothing, y'all. They don't say nothing. Once in a while, they come out with a program, okay? Just get themselves out there, make a couple extra dollars. But listen, I spoke with Brad many times in person. And so I can pitch this program so boldly, because I know what it can do for you. If you're interested in building a future version self, if you want a personalized AI coach, if you want to speak to your future version of yourself in your own voice, you're talking to the future version of yourself, requesting advice. Maybe you have a question about something, right? You're asking a future version of yourself. Well, this future version of self, sometimes they don't just throw you back with an answer. Maybe they throw back with an empowering question. Maybe you're struggling with a certain situation right now. Maybe they will throw back with a question like, what type of circumstance or who do you need to be so this problem will never occur again? Right? There are disempowering questions, there are empowering questions. And Brad, through this AI coach, will coach you on these things. Because the world is going to teach you disempowering questions such as, why does this happen to me all the time? Why am I unlucky? Why do bad things always happen to me? And now you're just spiraling down. You guys understand? And that's where they want to keep you in. The dark occult, the parasitic elite, the people that are in control right now, they always want you to spiral down in a very disempowering state. They want you to practice this problem, rehearse the setbacks. And there are so many opportunities sitting in front of you that you don't even see. They trained you that way. Now, a course has been presented to you. Today, I have multiple offers on this call. I don't care. Because a lot of people say you shouldn't have multiple offers. Go through them one by one. First offer, your wish is your command. How do you get it for free? You're going to tap on the very first link in the descriptions. You're going to see this landing page. How to get it for free? You tap on this buy now button. Buy now button. You're going to type in the coupon code. The coupon code is YWIYC. The all caps, all lowercase combination. I don't care. You hit apply. You hit apply. You can see that once the discount code is applied, you're saving yourself $500, y'all. Next, what you got to do? Go back on the top, fill out your contact, billing, and payment information. It's not going to charge you anything. Just relax. You're going to tap complete your order. Tapping complete your order. Expect an email in your inbox. Now, if you don't see it in your inbox, go to your spam folder. It might be in your spam folder. Redrag it back into your inbox. Tap on that email. There's going to be a link that's going to take you directly to your wishes, your command, the 14 audio series, how to manifest your desires. Today, we went through a lot of different lessons that were discussed in the program. Me, I'm still learning. I don't have every small little detail. This 14 audio series is over 14 hours long. I'm just providing some broad strokes. That's why you guys got to get the CD set. Listen to it for yourself. And Kevin also does a Q&A with his audience members, so you can hear what other people they pay over I think they pay $10,000 to go to hear Kevin deliver this in the Swiss Alps, if I remember correctly. $10,000, and that doesn't include the flight, the accommodation, right? All this other stuff that they also have to pay just to be in that room where he shared the CDs. And now, for a limited time, he's giving it out for free. I don't know how long, so get it, listen to it. Don't let this be another MP3 file in your downloads folder. The only way to change is you got to go through these lessons and you got to implement them, okay? What's my second offer I talked about? Listen, if you want to lose weight, if you have digestive problems, right? Of course, this is not professional medical advice, diagnosis treatment. You may want to get this program, the Mega Poop Transformation Challenge. Lose 3 to 5 pounds per month without going to the gym. So this is my own personal program, and you guys can just read through the sales page, see if it's right for you. And this is me. I was constantly weight loss rebounding. It's kind of interesting because this was an internet marketing event downtown San Diego. Brad was there. I remember that time I went and I saw Brad. He was there too. Brad, he was in San Diego. So next, what you got to do, you guys want to get Brad Costanzo's. If you want to turn your ideal future self into a personalized AI coach in just 60 minutes using simple prompts, using Chat GPT, this is the one to get, okay? This program's only $10. I don't know how long. Listen, the value that you get out of this is way more. I can't believe he's selling it for $10. You think it's just, oh, I'm going to do some prompts, okay? If you take this seriously and actually follow through on these directions, because a lot of you think you're very good at following directions. You're not, okay? You're always skipping steps. Why don't you take the time to read through the sales page all the way through, all right? And see what it has to offer. All I'm saying is I'm using this every single day. You're going to have to pay a little bit more. Buy the Chat GPT, you're paying $20. So you get the full features. Getting the full features allows you to use projects. You need to have that projects tool, that feature, so you can use it because it's got to be able to upload a lot of your files, right? So they could craft your personalized version of you. Not only that, Brad teaches you how you can talk to the future version of yourself in your own voice. I've done this already. I've followed through in the directions. He's using 11 labs to do this, right? So basically, you're gonna have to have some type of a voice recording. I have a lot of voice recordings because I do YouTube. So 11 labs is gonna be able to clone your voice, and it's gonna model after your pattern of speech, your tonality, everything. So when you ask this AI coach in 11 labs, you're gonna hear your voice coming back. Isn't that really great? Where it's not so distant from you, right? You're hearing your own voice. You're trying to become a better version of yourself. But first, really, you want to spend time crafting what does that future version look like? How does this person speak? How does this person react to people, events, situations, circumstances? How does this person look in the mirror, right? Well, how does this person dress? When people look at this person, what is the branding image behind it? All these small little things matter. Because you want to better yourself, right? Some of you, they're on this call right now. Why don't you really spend time crafting that future version of you? But for most people, it's just on a vision board somewhere, shuffled, and they have no connection with it. What Brad is doing, he's helping you bridging the gap. Next, what is the next offer? If you want to do a 30-day reset with Brad, this is somebody that I know personally. He's going to teach you his mental frameworks. He's going to teach you different spiritual lessons that's helped him over the years. He's going to teach you different routines that he's done over the years. He's going to teach you NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. He's going to teach you other AI tools that's helped him over the years. He has an amazing business. Okay, so who do you listen to? Once again, listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be, right? Why am I listening to Brad? He's working with the top people in the industry. Top of the top. Why do I listen to Kevin Trudeau? He's already made hundreds and hundreds of millions. If you've seen him in the 80s, okay? He developed this course. Kevin Trudeau's mega memory. All right, what else does he have? What else did he promote? Mega speed reading with Howard Berg. Mega speed reading. All right, if you want to learn how to read. When you are there in the 90s, I'm sure you've seen he was an infomercial king. Just from these natural cures they don't want to know about. That was on the New York best time seller list over 20 weeks. Listen, if you've done that, okay, maybe you don't have, if you had made hundreds of millions selling whatever you're trying to sell, and you were the New York best time selling author for over 20 weeks, don't listen to Kevin Trudeau. You've already done all that. But if you haven't, maybe he's the person you should be listening to, all right? Because he's accomplished more than you have. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Next lesson, teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? What is your willingness to accept change? Give yourself a score so you can quantify how coachable you are. Training balance scale. I truly believe the training balance scale has a lot to do with your subconscious mind, with your image, your self-image. How do you think and how you feel? Not just from a conscious standpoint, not of, oh, I feel happy today. But what is the undercurrent of your subconscious mind? And you can say that future version of yourself or that deep inner version of yourself. There is a lot of things that are down there, and not all of it is good, right? So I've gone down this path. Maybe there's a lot of unforgiveness that is down there that needs to be resolved. If you want to go to that next version of yourself, there might be a lot of trauma that is involved, right? There might be a lot of ancestral patterns down there that's no longer serving you. That needs to be resolved, right? And I've been doing all these different things. I'm just like, okay, I'm just hacking my way through my subconscious mind. So I'm broadcasting now, you know, I believe I'm broadcasting from a much different energy than I was before. That's what I'm experiencing. Hey, every single day in the morning, I wake up, I'm doing deep meditations. I'm not playing with this. Just like I'm doing my detox protocols. When I'm saying I'm doing my detox protocols, I'm doing one detox protocol per week, every single week of the year. There are 52 weeks in a year. Every single week, I'm doing something. I don't care if that is cleaning out the small and large intestines. I don't care if that is eliminating internal parasites out of my body. I don't care if that is flushing out the gallstones out of the gallbladder, intrahepatic stones out of the liver. Every single week I'm doing something, right? What else do we talk about? Listen, if you want to learn how to turn your future self into a personalized AI coach in just 60 minutes, quite frankly, maybe I'm not so good with computers. It took me a little bit longer than 60 minutes because I had to rework it, right? So I may find some output from ChatGPT and then a spark new inspiration within me. And I continue to work on this future version. I was like, oh, I missed something over here. I'm going to add it in. Missed something over here. So when I threw the information back into ChatGPT, right? It's a process of recursion, if you will. We call that a recursion in software development. And if you know anything like that, you can Google up what is recursion. And this becomes very interactive, right? It's almost light bulbs going off inside your head. But now I'm like, oh, I can actually share this, right? Not only am I sharing, there is a path that I'm taking right now, which is very unique. I'm sharing about Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command, but I'm also sharing, oh, there are different programs out there that could be very helpful. 4 steps to learning, unconscious incompetence, you don't know what you don't know. There are a lot of things you don't know right now. And there's always going to be a lot of things off your radar screen. That's why we take different courses like this, even a small little $10 investment here, maybe a $50 investment there, $5 investment there, $300 investment there. Doesn't matter what it is. It's going to help us bridge that gap. Bridge the gap, guys. Taking aside your favorite activities, no longer watching Al Bundy, Married with Children. You're not watching King of the Hill, The Simpsons, setting that time aside. And you're like, you know what? Set that time aside. I'm going to invest my time into this free course with Kevin Trudeau, right? Listen to these audio series. I'm going to invest $10 into this course. Turn my ideal future self into a personalized AI coach. Maybe you don't know a lot about AI, how to work ChatGPT. Don't worry. If you know how to copy and paste, and there's actually a little button where you just copy the prompt and you just paste it into ChatGPT, Brad gives you very specific directions. But you got to be very good at following them. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Let me tell you, I've been trying to coach people on this, and I do have a lot of successful reports, hundreds and hundreds of them, okay? Hundreds and hundreds of successful reports all over the world, not just in the English language and Chinese and Spanish, Arabic. Listen, some people, they're so cocky. They don't really pay attention to the proportions that I tell them to mix these ingredients in. And they come back to me and ask me, how come this didn't work? That didn't work. So I start asking them questions. I'm like, do you have measuring cups? They're like, no. They don't even use measuring cups. So I'm just like, of course it's not going to work. It's not in a specific proportion. It took me over 2 years to get the proportions just right so that it will work for anybody in the world. You guys understand? With a very, very high chance of success. And there's timing of it too. There's a little bit of a fasting period, because if you don't follow through on every last one of these directions, this is not going to work. It's not going to produce a bowel effect. It's not going to clean your small and large intestines combined. What we're trying to do, what are we trying to do? We're trying to excavate the waste material outside of your body. Okay? And that's what this program does. Everybody's eating 2-3 meals a day. Not everybody's going to the bathroom. This is what this program does. This program will help you blast out waste material from your body. Okay? So that's that other program. I'm going to be putting them in the comments below. Don't worry. What else we have? If you want to work with Brad and do a 30-day reset, if you want to do a month-long sabbatical, just reset so you can focus on what matters and transform your uncertainty into opportunities. Listen, I'm going through this right now. Brad is teaching you his mental frameworks that made him extremely, extremely successful over the years. He works with the top of the top people in the industry, in personal development, in internet marketing. When people have a pressing need, they don't know what is your next step. Listen, they're calling Brad. All right. That's how amazing this guy is. And I know him personally. That's why I can pitch this program so confidently. I'm going through the program myself. But you don't want to do that 90-day program right off the bat? Listen, just start with this $10 personalized AI coach using some simple prompts. So you just pop it into ChatGPT. Pop it into ChatGPT, and then you're working with an AI coach. And this AI coach knows all about you, your dreams, your aspirations, your desires. Brad goes above and beyond because he teaches you how you can talk to the future version of yourself in your own voice. I know it sounds kind of freaky, but I'm saying this. Many people, they're doing this right now. So they're uploading all their videos, you know, their thoughts, their, maybe you can call it a codex, their principles. So for many people, going forward, yes. What is the quote? The conversation doesn't end at goodbye, right? So people check in and out every single day. I'm talking about life, right? People check in and out of life, but that doesn't mean you can't communicate with these people going forward, provided that you upload enough information regarding them, their principles, their ideologies, you know, their thought processes. The more that you upload, this online avatar is going to be more rounded. So when people feel lonely, they can talk to that future AI. That in itself, I'm sure it's a business model. I'm sure somebody's already doing it. I mean, it's in my mind already, so I'm sure somebody's doing it. You can do it. I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying, listen, what are you going to do right now? You guys been listening to me for how long now on this call? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing? I've explained so many things regarding your wishes, your command, gone through these PowerPoint presentations, gave you a little bit of introduction about who I am, right? And how I went through all these different lessons to better my own personal life. Who do I listen to? Remaining teachable, increasing my willingness to learn, increasing my willingness to accept change. It's not a one-time thing. Mastering the basics is always coming back to these 4 things. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. It sounds so simple, right? It takes 5 minutes to learn, a lifetime to master. And that's what Kevin teaches all the time. He says, it takes 5. This sounds so simple, but have you really installed it? Who are you listening to right now? How do you look in the mirror right now? Do you have the results that you want? How's your bank account looking? Are you growing anything? I don't care if it's a YouTube channel, a bank account, a business, some type of offer you're trying to promote. Is it growing in the right direction? Is the chart going up? Is it stagnant or is it going down? Are you expanding yourself or you're contracting? Are you listening to the right people? Next, what is your teachability index? What is your willingness to learn? Give yourself a score between 0 to 10. Are you somebody that has all the DVD sets? I don't care if it's P90X, Hybo, you got QVC, exercise machines, Peloton, but you're never on the exercises themselves. You're watching Tony Horn, like, yeah, go Tony, go Tony, you're eating potato chips. Most people are like that. Most people, their willingness to accept change is 0. 10 out of 10 with the willingness to learn, 0 out of 10 willingness to accept change. 10 times 0 is still 0. Their teachability index is 0. They're not coachable until you begin to shift that around. Next, what is your training balance scale? And this has a lot more to do with the deep inner workings of your subconscious mind. How do you think and how you feel at the core? What are your true habits, your beliefs, your values, your identity, your creativity and your self-worth, your imagination and self-confidence? It's all down there. But that thing is malleable, guys. Your subconscious mind is malleable. It's not something that's just frozen in time where it's completely rigid. But you got to do the deep inner work. You got to be able to confront those areas of unforgiveness if you have them. You got to be able to confront, hey, maybe my ancestors passed down some certain patterns within me. Now I no longer want. I need to somehow leave it within, right? And how do you do different things like that? I'm on that path right now. Maybe there's certain eating patterns that are no longer serving you, and they were passed down by your ancestors. Certain ideas, for example, people used to pass down, hey, because of your ancestors, they got these chronic diseases. These are just your cards, man. You're going to have to deal with these chronic diseases. I chose not to accept that at a very early age. I said, you know what? I'm not going down that path. There's no way I'm thinking like that. But my health steadily continued to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But I still did not give up. I still continued to open up my mind, because if I just said to myself, well, I'm going to get these chronic diseases, I don't care if it's high blood pressure, diabetes, combination of both, kidney problems, I'm always good at, why don't I start to unravel what's been passed down? Maybe my ancestors, they passed down a lot of bad eating habits. Why do I change that? Maybe my ancestors had all these, always ate sweets after a meal, or they always have to add sugar to their tea, right? All these things compound, especially when people get older. They have more of a sedentary lifestyle. They don't move around as much. You're not burning this stuff off. But they're going to blame it on some type of, oh, this is the reason why our family is going to go down like this. When you have diabetes, you're going to have all sorts of problems. Your blood viscosity is going to go up. You're going to have kidney problems. You're going to have something called edema. I started to study these things even before it even happened. So I went down on this path. I started to learn how I can clean myself from the inside, how I can renew not just my nutrition plan, but clean my organs out one by one. You guys know what I'm talking about? So that's the path that I personally went on. We talked about teachability index. I had to remain teachable, even when I cannot see any hope. I saw the weight loss rebound, saw myself in the mirror, very frustrated. I was like, is this just my lot? This is the roll of the dice. I'm just going to have to deal with this for the rest of my life. Taking medications like my other family members, checking their blood sugar, checking their blood pressure all the time. Listen, I have none of those problems. I have basically broken that curse that was just thrown down, right? So that's what's underneath the surface. A lot of people don't know. Underneath the surface are negative patterns. It could be patterns that your ancestors have installed in your subconscious mind. And it's up to you to evaluate, hey, do I want to continue on this path? Or I'm going to rewrite the story for myself. There might be a lot of unforgiveness. I had a lot of unforgiveness. I'm sure there's still a lot of unforgiveness I need to resolve. It just comes up. Maybe certain situations I was thinking about a moment in the past. Well, how beneficial is it for me to hold on to that unforgiveness? Is it blocking me from certain blessings? Is it a plus or a minus? So I have to make a decision. Okay, if it's a minus, then I got to do everything that I possibly can to uproot that unforgiveness. This is a deep inner work. You guys want to talk about personal development, right? Well, personal development goes a lot deeper than just, oh, I got to change my behaviors. And you learn that in Brad's course. If you take this 90-day course, he's going to tell you, listen, NLP teaches that. NLP teaches you, if you just focus on behavior, you're only going to have short-term success. And you're going to revert back to that image, whatever that image is. Why do people, they become superstars, athletes, making millions, sometimes hundreds of millions, right? But once they retire, they're flat broke again, or even before they retire. Because deep down within them, in their subconscious mind, there is a programming down there that says, being rich is not safe, all right? Or it is not good to surpass your family members. Or some religious background, maybe the programming is suffering is more spiritual. There's so many of these things that is sitting there in the subconscious mind. And that's what you really think about the circumstances. That is what the training balance skills really about. My perspective. I could be wrong. Okay. It's training balance skills down here. The self-image part. It is down here. It's in a time to open up possibilities. It's in a time to take a different set of actions. And that's totally, the ball's on your court. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what questions do you have. I know one of you is listening very attentively. Appreciate you. Tell me where you're from. You can see the live chat. This is not a pre-recorded call, okay? This is a live chat, so you can communicate with me right now. This is your opportunity. So what's up? Talk to me. Wow, how long have I been speaking? I think this is the longest I've gone. Probably close to hour 30 minutes. Listen, what's up? Talk to me. What's your question? Anything I can help clear up? Right? This is your opportunity to ask me questions. If you don't have any questions for me in 2 minutes, I'm shutting this thing down. Oh. And yes, I will be providing these links to these different programs. I will be putting them in the comments. There are going to be a couple of them. And I highly recommend getting all of them. Evan's program is free, right? So definitely get that. Brad's program, only $10, right? But let me tell y'all, focus on your health. How are you going to improve your money if you're healthy right? Doesn't make any sense. A lot of people, they always chasing that money. Listen, I used to do that too, okay? And I made a mistake. You got to be chasing your health. You got to improve your health every step of the way. I don't care if you're a teenager, 18, 19, 20 years old, in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s. I do not care. You got to be working on your health right away. Because they don't really have any answers for you in the medical industrial complex. This has got a lot of meds, side effects, contraindications, more medications for your side effects, operations, procedures. And if that's what you want, but I'm just saying they're gonna take all your money. They're gonna take all your hard money from doing that. And working with insurance is tricky. There are people, they're trying to get an operation and then insurance comes back, oh, this isn't covered. And they get the doctor to call them back. All that stuff. Always think in terms of liabilities, concerns, y'all. Don't be so confident in your own personal health. If you're having any digestive problems, y'all, get this program. Not professional medical advice. Work with your naturopathic doctor, holistic doctor, see if it's right for you, right? What else do you have? If you want to really dive deep into your wishes, your command, you guys know where to get it. It's in the first link in my descriptions, and the coupon code is YWIYC. Hit apply. Get a discount code, saving $500. Come back up here, fill your contact, billing, payment information. Not going to charge you anything. Hit complete your order and check in your inbox. If it's not there within a few minutes, check in your spam folder. It might be in your spam folder. Re-drag it back into your inbox. Tap on that email. There's going to be a link in the email. Tap on that link. It's going to take you directly to this audio series that you can stream online completely for free. Completely for free. Your wishes, your command, how to manifest your desires. Kevin's going to give it to you real. He's going to share with you stuff. The reason why you're not getting the stuff that you want is because you're missing these keys. And there are things that you're going to have to do. It's not just about listen to another meditation track, buy your crystals, right? Or do another vision board. Those things are helpful. But how do you combine all the pieces together? Do you have these down? Who do you listen to? What is your teachability index? What's your training balance scale? What's your 4 steps to learning? What else can you do to help you? Well, you can get yourself a personalized AI coach with your future self. So I'm going to leave this link. This is only $10. For $10, my mentor, Brad Costanzo, he's going to teach you how you can create a personalized AI coach in just 60 minutes. If you're very good with ChatGPT already, all you got to do is copy and paste some prompts, y'all. Okay? Now, if you're trying to lose weight, this is my program. The program is the Mega Poop Transformation Challenge. How to lose 3 to 5 pounds per month without going to the gym. Next, what else do you have? If you want to do a 30-day reset with Brad, where he's going to teach you additional tools around AI and also his mental frameworks for success, this is the program to get. People always say, oh, you shouldn't have multiple offers on a call. I don't care, y'all. I don't know where your guys at. Your wishes, your command is completely for free. So it's up to you. If you guys want to change your life by listening to the CD set, or you're just going to have it sitting there down in your downloads folder, don't do anything with it. Everything is up to you. All right. Same thing over here. I wanted to change my health, but it wasn't getting it done. I was going to the gym. I had a personal trainer. I was calorie counting, fitness pal. Wasn't getting down. Weight loss, rebounding all the time. Listen, until I started to do this program. This program I put together myself. I've coached hundreds of people around the world how to get this done. The reason why I price it this way, because listen, when I price it too cheap, nobody pays any attention to it. If you pay for something, if there's an equal exchange, what is on your radar screen, then you actually do something about it. Otherwise, it's just another program sitting there in your downloads folder. And this is the Brad Costanzo month-long sabbatical. If you want to reset, you can focus on what matters and transform your uncertainty into opportunities. All right, so I'm going to give that to you right here. But I want to hear, what questions do you have regarding your wish is your command? You guys pop it on this call kind of late. I've already explained a lot of this stuff, but if you have any questions for me specifically, you have to live chat. I'll be on here for the next 2 to 3 minutes. And I got so what brought you on this call? Have you listened to the CD set before, right? Any questions for me specifically? Be happy to help you answer any questions or clear up anything. And I know my streaming isn't all that great. I'm still working with this OBS thing. I know my voice isn't sounding the best, but I'm doing everything I can, right? Sometimes you just gotta go forward. You just gotta press play, right? You gotta hit record. So talk to me. What do you guys have for me? What questions you may have, what comments or insights? This is your opportunity just to chat with me. Yeah, I hope my voice coming through all right. At least let me know if you guys can hear my voice okay. I usually don't know until I do the recording. I do my best to set everything up, but you never know, right? So what's up? Where you guys at? Where you guys coming from? How can I help? Don't be shy. See, I can share with you my YouTube channel. Just like everybody else, I start from zero, right? And all I can say is I've been doing some pretty unique meditations, especially the last couple of, I would say last couple of days. And I'm definitely seeing some of this channel start to grow, right? So it has to, this stuff's got to deliver results. What I'm looking for is results. I don't just want a whole bunch of theory. I want to know what I'm doing here has an impact. It's helping people, and it's also growing the YouTube channel, growing sales, growing leads and opt-ins, right? That's what we're all here for, you know, providing products and services that actually serve people, right? But I just want to share my own YouTube channel. Whereas before, you know, I wasn't getting a whole bunch of views at all. I also, just like everybody else, I started with zero. And within the last 28 days, I got 35 subscribers, 94% more than previous one. If you're on this call, you know, if you like what I'm sharing, if you like this type of content, if you're into the law of manifestation, if you want to actually get results in your life, right? Subscribe to this channel. I'm going to do my best to provide you some great insights. Like in the future, we can even go through a whole bunch of other PowerPoint presentations. I already got it all lined up. I can teach you guys about the digestive system. I got it all lined up, y'all. Now, today I'm not going to talk about all this. I'm just saying, y'all, I've done so much research and work regarding digestive health. And I have the right analogies. I know different protocols that are out there. I know how this can help people, right? And a lot of people, you have so many things off your radar screen. You know nothing about nothing. You guys That's the problem. I was so cocky before. I thought I knew everything, right? Until I start to read books outside my current scope of awareness. I'm like, listen, there is so many things outside my scope of awareness. I need to up my game. The only way I can do that is by being teachable. I gotta set aside my favorite activities, take that time to actually learn something that could be beneficial for me. There's so many things I'm not going to talk about that I just felt on this call. Maybe on a future call. You let me guys know what you guys want, right? I don't know where you guys are at. Your mindset, with your thought process. You let me know. But if you guys don't have any questions for me, in 2 minutes, I'm shutting this down. All right, in 2 minutes. So in conclusion, what we talked about? We talked about a lot of things. We had the small little introduction. I think you guys know a little bit about who I am now. And the 4 major lessons are: who do you listen to? Teachability index, training balance scale, 4 steps to mastery. Okay. And always come back in here, continue to master the basics. Everything that I'm teaching takes about 5 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. If you don't have the results that you want, you haven't mastered it. If you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see, you haven't mastered it. If you look at your bank account, you don't like what you see, I haven't mastered it, right? I want more. I don't care. I just want more. I don't care how much progress I made in my own personal health. I want more, right? I want it better. I want to learn more about my internal organs. I continue to upgrade them one by one over the years. So, thanks so much.